Great. Well, hi guys. Hi guys. Hello. Hello. Hey you. Hey everyone. Happy Saturday. Give a few minutes for folks to join us. In the meantime, here's Hazel. Hi Hazel. As soon as I sat down and got in this chair, Hazel decided to jump on me. Hey Meredith. Happy Saturday. So Hazel's probably going to get in my face here and there and be her playful little self. I'll show you my little girl. Haze. Hey, Brody, you're sleeping. I'll make sure I'll make everyone dizzy before the end of this. All right. How's everyone doing tonight? Yeah. I see people are joining us slowly but surely. So today is one of those days where I say check on your strong ones, and today I needed some support. I had kind of a rough night and a rough day, and I reached out to a lot of my friends, a lot of really awesome people that I'm so grateful for. Sometimes we just go through it. I had a close friend that isn't doing so well, that I care about, and it just made me really sad. And I'm so grateful that I have a support network I could reach out to. I have incredible friends. I see John just signed on. John and Kara really helped me out last night and today. And then other non-ROCovery folks in my network were really helpful. Before I came on, I was thinking about what to say, because, sometimes I talk about being genuine and authentic, and today I just wasn't feeling anything very profound. Dogs. Hi, Hayes. And I was thinking, what do I say? What can I bring up? But if it's not coming from my heart, and if it's not sincere, then it's not real, right? It's really not helpful to anyone. So before I came on, I listened to a song that I listen to often. And if any of you have heard Daphne Willis, I Am Enough, it is an incredible song. I've shared it on my personal page. I was fortunate enough to see Daphne Willis perform at the New York State Recovery Conference this year. She's an incredible singer and songwriter. She's in recovery, and she sings about addiction and about recovery. And this song, I Am Enough, it brought me to tears, which I didn't want to do right before going Facebook Live, but it just talks about being enough. No matter what I do, no matter how hard I try, I can't force someone into recovery. I can't force someone to find this way of life, right? I could only love them. And sometimes I think that my actions can magically change outcomes, and they can't, per se. So I was listening to the song, and she says, I am enough just as I am. And it sort of been like a mantra for me. I really encourage you to listen to all of her songs, but just knowing that, coming from when I didn't think I had any worth, that I could never be enough, right? And even in sobriety, in certain situations, I really question myself. I'm not always on 24/7, we all have bad days. I wouldn't even call them bad days, because that's passing judgment. Days that we need some self-compassion and some support. And just knowing that, we're all enough, just as we are. It's a really beautiful song. Another thing I listened to right before coming on is there's an app called Insight Timer, and they have different meditations. You could do one for 2 minutes, for 5 minutes. You could choose topics. It's a free app. And I listened to this one. I've listened to it before. And there's a couple of variations, but basically it's the same. It's called She Let Go. Just so beautiful to get quiet and listen to this meditation and this mantra really about letting go. I see Sarah asked about whose song. Daphne Willis is an incredible singer and songwriter, and the song is called I Am Enough. So this, the meditation, She Let Go, was really beautiful because it was sort of, we talked about, yesterday I talked about being perfectly imperfect and kind of unapologetically you. And the meditation talked about letting go without reason, without justification, without arguing, just letting go. I don't have to ask permission. I can just let go. When a situation is hurting me or is unhealthy or, I can't control other people and outcomes, but I can just let go, and I could wrap my kind of virtual spiritual arms around someone and offer my support and show up for them. But I have to just let go. I'm looking at some of the comments. I see Meredith checking in about tonight. Actually at my current office right now, packing it up because Friday's my last day here. Hopefully starting a new job 4/6. Well, congratulations, Meredith. And thanks, guys, for the support, saying, good job for reaching out. I appreciate it very much. So I was pretty kind of in my head and sort of not wanting to talk to anyone for a good part of today. Just feeling real sad, And then I was getting irritable, right? Those are like my telltale signs that I need to reach out to someone. So I was sad, and then I was angry, and then I'm painting this damn room, and I'm so tired of painting, and I have paint on everything. I sat in paint. And I'm just getting like sadder, but there's something about sadness that you can kind of wrap your arms around. Like it's familiar, and it's very easy to fall into that place. It's so easy to get stuck there. I know for me, I don't know if it is for some of you guys. And not having a whole lot of contact outside of the virtual world with other people kind of contributes to that. It's easy to crawl into that darkness, crawl into that sadness. But I know for me, I can't do that because a couple of hours leads to a couple of days. A couple of days leads to a week, and then I just get away from the things that kind of fuel my heart and fuel my soul, my passion, right? I get into this, I don't know if it's not self-pity, but maybe it is a little bit of self-pity. Kind of rambling about where my head went today, but I was really looking forward to, I was not terribly looking forward to the Facebook Live because I want to have some kind of positive message. I want to share something with you guys that could maybe you could take away. But then I also was, because I knew this would ground me. I knew that before I got on, I had to breathe. I had to do a little bit of self-reflection, right? Think about today. Think about the... Sorry. Dogs are sneezing. Hey, guys. Hi, Hayes. Distractible. So I had to reflect on the day and think about the things I could have improved upon and think about the things I did well. And I think in that space where I was feeling kind of cranky, what I did well was not fire back at anyone. I got some messages, and for whatever reason, they just annoyed me. It didn't sit right with me. And instead of firing back, I just paused, right? I say pause sometimes because it's really very important for me to take a step back. There's a difference between action and reaction. And pausing is taking a break, right? To really be thoughtful in my actions and not just react out of anger, out of whatever, like that knee-jerk reaction. So being able to take a step back. Sometimes I think of it as when I have a thought, my first thought is usually I call it like, actually, a friend and I talk about this. The first thought is not always the healthy thought. If I pause and listen to the second and or the third thought, that's usually the more compassionate, kind, loving, positive thought. But my first thought could sometimes be a knee-jerk, to the jugular, not very thoughtful or compassionate. So when I know I'm in that mood, I know not to react, right? I know to take a step back and just kind of breathe. I see Meredith relating, bad with knee-jerk reactions, something I'm always trying to work on. And that's the beauty, is we get the chance to work on it, right? We have a choice to do some self-reflection, to look at some of those behaviors that are no longer serving us, or things that maybe are causing more harm to ourselves and to others. And that's pretty incredible. I see Meredith. It's actually a difficult and emotional day because of the change and uncertainty. Completely relate to what you're saying about letting it go too long. I was really down this morning, slept half the day away, but same. Knew how it can snowball and turn into much worse and too long, etc. These lives have really helped me more than you guys know, the live feeds. Giving me structure and things to look forward to, still engaging somehow with the outside world. Thank you so much for saying that, Meredith. I definitely have a lot of those experiences. And, just being human and being okay with being human. I know I'm not Superwoman. I know I can't be on 24/7. I have my moments. I have my days. And it's okay to be human. It's okay to let people in. It's okay to ask for help. And as we struggle with what we're going through right now, with what's going on in the world, it's okay to ask for help. Even if it's, sometimes a distraction for me is I call someone just to see how they're doing, even when I'm kind of going through it, because I could really focus on something else, on another person. I mentioned this painting stuff I'm doing. I'm not really good at it. I get it everywhere. This color I picked out stinks, but whatever. But when I'm painting, I'm so focused on it because I don't want to get paint everywhere, which I do, but I'm so focused on it that it takes me out of my thoughts. And I could really just be present, right, and be mindful. So allowing yourself to be human, right, letting go of the things that are harming us or are no longer serving us. Mantras that I am enough. When I finish with this live feed, I'm probably gonna play Daphne's song a couple of times. It really gets me. I don't know. It just puts me in a positive, kind of self-compassionate place. I mentioned this yesterday, but it came up right before I hit the Facebook Live button. Forgiveness. And a friend of mine says forgiveness is letting go of the hope that our past could have been different. And that just, it hits me every time, right? Forgiving myself, forgiving others, letting go of that hope that my past could have been different, that the situation could have been different. And being able to let go of the pain and the hold that certain situations could have on us. So that's really important. So something I'd encourage you guys to do is do some meditation or mantras. And I know people are probably rolling their eyes, but seriously, I think the free app, Insight Timer, like Insight, Awareness Insight, and you can choose 2-minute meditations. You could choose hour-long meditations. I usually do the shorter ones. And there's all sorts of really cool ones, singing bowls, these different mantras. So I challenge you before the end of the night to take a couple of minutes for yourself, step away from whatever you're doing, let go of whatever stuff, clutter, things that you're involved in right now, and just take a few deep breaths and practice, try meditating. And also mantras. As you're sitting there, if you're feeling kind of funky or getting lonely or getting sad, practice mantras. I am enough. Brian Quinn, actually, in his meditations, talks a lot about these things like breathing in positive and breathing out negative, right? John, there's an app called Headspace 2 that's really good guided meditations. Thanks for that. I didn't know about that one. I'm going to check it out. But something about just saying, like, I am enough, I am enough, I am happy. It goes along with what I talked about a little while ago, a few nights ago, with visualization. If you visualize, if you have these positive thoughts, Brian talks about it also in his, and when he did a talk, positive thinking in difficult times, I want to say it's called. But when you think happy things, when you think positive things, you attract positive energy. Your body starts to feel more positive. Those things kind of change, right? Just from the language we use. I talk about how much power we have in our words. So in the way we talk to ourselves, about ourselves, in the way we talk about other people, in the way we use our voice for good. There is so much power in our stories, in our voice, in the things we say. And it's really important to take advantage, right? I'm so grateful that I have a voice today, that I can, speak my truth, that I don't hide or I don't pretend, to the best of my ability. Sometimes I do, just being human. But I'm able to use my voice. When I don't agree with something, I could say something. I could speak up. I can choose to let go. I can choose to use positive language towards myself and others. So I really challenge you guys. A couple of things. One is to meditate and say some mantras, whether it's 1 minute, 2 minutes. There's not really a right or wrong way to meditate. And also for those that think you're going to sit down, meditate, and have this like mind-blowing experience, you may not, and it's okay. It's about practice. It's just about quieting your mind. If you can't totally quiet your mind, totally normal. Don't worry about a thing. It'll come, or it may not, but it's what meditation is about, having awareness, and gaining insight on some of those things. So meditation and mantras. And I lost the third thing. Oh, I do. I remember. I do. So the third thing is pay attention to how you talk to yourself. Pay attention to how you think about yourself. And start to take notice of the negative self-talk. Or those times you might think like, oh, that was dumb, or oh, that was stupid. Something so small has a very large impact. It's these subconscious sort of messages that continue to play, and even though you think they're kind of no big deal, they add up and compile. Kind of like trauma. Trauma has a tendency of, everyday little ordinary traumas. They build and they build and they build and they grow, and the same with negative and positive self-talk. So pay attention to the way you talk to yourself. Maybe start writing down or keeping track of the things you say. And when you catch yourself saying something negative, reframe it and say the opposite of whatever that is. So if you say something like, oh, that was stupid, say something like, I'm doing the best I can, right? Oh, I'm an idiot. I'm not an idiot. I'm a loving, kind, compassionate person, whatever that may be for you. But really start to change that negative self-talk. Being alone in our heads, having this incredible virtual world, but not having live connection, right? Like face-to-face connection. And we're beings that were meant for connection. So this is kind of a challenging time all around. It's really important to not fall into those dark places, to not disconnect totally from ourselves and from others. So doing things like practicing loving and kindness towards ourselves. I do something, and I'll say I'm like half a hippie. I don't know if it's a hippie thing. I smudge. So I have white sage, and I go through the house and I cleanse my house of negative energy. And I just visualize or use mantras to bring in positive energy, to cast out any negative energy in my house. So if that's helpful for some, what works for me may not work for you. Everyone has their own way. But I do know that the power of positive language really is for everyone. So be kind to yourselves. Do some meditation tonight. Make a plan for tomorrow. Or don't. I actually am not making a plan for this weekend. And even though I'm working from home, I had a pretty busy week. But I do have some things that I want to get done. Like I want to finish this stinking room. I want to paint it. For the love of God, it's taking me a long time because I'm very distractible. But also I want to be present and mindful, and I don't want to judge. I want to spend some quality time with the dogs. So those are the kinds of things I would offer up. Maybe not a strict schedule, but something that could help you get through this weekend and refresh and revitalize and get ready for the week, the next day. So we have some pretty incredible offerings. We have our schedule of live feeds on our Facebook page. We've shared it. I've shared it on my personal page, so have a lot of folks. Tomorrow we have yoga of 12-step recovery is now virtual. It's a Zoom meeting. Our wonderful instructor Liz is started the meeting at ROCovery and is now doing it virtually on Zoom. The information's in that post. We have some Lisa is actually starting it's her first writing workshop. I don't remember all the names because she's witty, and a lot of the staff are witty, and I'm not as witty. Kind of like the other day, John's talk, coffee with Dad. I said running away from John. It's a running coffee thing. Sorry, John. You'll forgive me one day. But just check out the calendar. We have tons of really cool things. Lisa's writing kind of class, workshop, group is starting up tomorrow. Check out all the wonderful staff on here doing some great things, spreading some true messages of hope. So don't forget, we're available. Reach out if there's anything you need, if you want to talk, if you want to share some insights, share some thoughts, have feedback. We always want to hear feedback. We want to know what you like, what you don't like, what you'd like to see more of, what you'd like to see less of. And yeah, share your thoughts, spread the word with your friends, share the post about the classes. Also, if you missed any of the recordings, they're available in the video section on our Facebook page, as well as our website. We're now uploading the Facebook Live videos to our website. So don't fret. We are here. All right, John. So tomorrow, 7:30, coffee with Dad running away. I don't know what it's called. I'm sorry. Coffee with Dad running away. It's going to be great. Yeah, so stay tuned. We're here for you guys. We love you guys. I'm so grateful for... I want you guys to know how healing this is for me, how cathartic this is for me. So I know I can't see you guys, but you really turned my day around. You definitely, made me feel a lot better. So love you guys. Thanks again for tuning in and for watching. I'll be back tomorrow. Same time, same place, and have a great night, you guys. Bye.